Happy to have coach and general manager of the Kimberley Dynamiters, Stuart, for a bit of a chat here this first intermission. So Derek, welcome back to Kimberley. First thing I have to say.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jim. It's great to be back. We've been here since, I think, mid-July, but it's great to be back, and we're very welcomed by the community, so it's very nice.
So let's talk a little bit about your career as a Dynamiter. What years did you play here?
I played from 95 to 98, back in the RMJHL back then.
And the best thing that happened to you as a Dynamiter?
Probably meeting the people I got to meet. I still stay in touch with, obviously, Jeff Keever, but probably 4 or 5 other guys I met over the 3-year span I was here that still stay in touch with pretty regularly. So probably I would say that would be the best thing that happened as a Dynamiter.
So since being a Dynamiter, your progression to become the head coach?
I bounced around in hockey a little longer than I should have, probably, like most people. And then actually me and my best friend back in Calgary just started coaching midget AA one year, and just kind of a way to stay involved in the game, and had some success, and then went on to midget AAA and had some success there. And eventually my friend got hired in Okotoks in the AJHL, and I went with him for the last 6 years, and just kind of got the bug for it and enjoyed it so much that I applied here, and things worked out.
So your philosophy with the Kimberley Dynamiters this year?
I think from the get-go we said we wanted to be a team that's hard to play against, and I know most people might, when they first hear that, might think that means physically or tough, and that's part of it for sure, but we want to be fast, a team with speed, and to me that's probably the hardest thing to defend, is a team with speed, and if you can have skill and physicality on top of that, it just makes us even more dangerous. So being hard to play against is one of the things we really try to do every night.
What's the toughest thing about your job?
Probably getting with this team right now is making sure that everyone's understands their role, and not everyone's here to get points, and some guys will and some guys won't, but I think right now at this point of the season it's getting everyone to understand what they need to do as an individual to contribute to this hockey club having success.
And what's the most challenging? Oh, no, that we are just ask a question.
Yeah.
What's the funnest part of this job?
Dealing with all the people, I think, right down from the executive down to Neil and Scotty and everyone that helps out along the way. It's been a real treat so far, and everyone is here for the right reasons, which is to put a good product on the ice and make the town proud of the team that has been here for however many years has been here. It's something I think that everyone is on the same page and works really hard to do. So being around those people, including the players, is a big thrill.
You made a number of changes with the personnel on the ice, and I think that's kudos to you for getting some players that came out of the AJ and some other places. So what do you see as your job as far as moving forward now into the playoffs?
For us, just making sure that we are practicing and playing the right way. I think we learned a good lesson in that Beaver Valley game that you don't take shifts off or periods off, and they came at us hard every shift, even when it was 8-2 and 9-2 near the end, they were coming just as hard as they did at the start of the game. So I think for us, getting into that habit where we're as hard, we practice as hard on a Monday as we play on a Friday or Saturday, and I think this week was a good step towards that goal. Monday and Tuesday were very hard and intense battles, and yesterday was a pretty up-tempo practice as well. So we've taken some strides there, and for us, we're just trying to make sure we're playing the right way come playoffs.
Okay, now your thoughts on the first period of this game?
The first 12 minutes were not very exciting or not really any of the things I just described, but I think the last 8 minutes we did a much better job of getting pucks past their defensemen and really going to work and controlling the puck down low and then moving it up high, and our defensemen have done a great job of holding the blue line in the offensive zone, keeping some pucks in and getting pucks back down low, whether it be on net or just back into the corners for the forwards.
I think this is the prime definition of a trap game. Looking forward, I know you've got a big game tomorrow night against the Crescent Valley Thundercats. Did some of the players maybe start thinking about Saturday night before they finish the Friday night game?
It's probably a natural thing to do. We're trying our best as a staff, and I know some of the guys in there are trying, the leaders and the older fellows are trying their best to not let that happen, but I'm sure it still does happen here and there, or a shift or two, but I think, again, the last 8 minutes it was great, and it's a hard thing to do, is to try and play the same way no matter who your opponent is, because the fact is that your opponent's there and everyone knows their record, and whether it's a Creston or Golden, so to get to the point where we just play our style and our way no matter what, I think when we get there, we're going to be a very tough team to play with.
For me, I thought it was the Colapello line with Hosgen. That was kind of the turning point midway through the period where they started to be a little bit more aggressive on the forecheck and taking the body and turning over pucks in the offensive zone.
Yeah, I don't think we had a finished check by our forward group until that line hit the ice, I think 3 minutes into the period, but definitely I would agree with that line. Unfortunately, Sturzer's out for the rest of the game, but the few shifts they had there with Nick Catola, they were definitely banging bodies and creating turnovers, and they got rewarded with a great goal, so I would agree with that.
Did that call surprise you a bit?
I guess the net was off. I'm not too sure. That's what the referee said.
No, I'm not talking about Sturzer.
Oh, sorry. The second one, I didn't really. I thought that their guy pushed him into the goalie. I'll have to watch it tomorrow in the video. The first one, I guess, is a situation where there was contact and it's the ref's discretion. The second one, I'm not too sure about it, but I'll have to wait and see tomorrow. I can't really comment.
You realize that two goaltender interference was a game ejection penalty?
Yeah.
That's something that we learned a couple of years ago.
Is it? Yeah, we told the players right after his first one. Unfortunately, he was in the box and we were telling the bench, so he couldn't hear that. But it's too bad. We need, we could use Cage going tomorrow in Creston, but we have Nick Herringer, who's not in tonight, is going to do a job tomorrow.
Well, he just gets ejected for this game. He doesn't get suspended, does he?
I think he does, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to check.
Looking at moving forward, you still have a chance to take over first spot in the division, but it's a tough road to hoe. So what are your expectations?
For us, that's our goal. Whatever happens is going to happen. Of course, I don't expect to finish first. It's a goal, definitely, and I think we need to take care of Creston ourselves. And if we can do that, it would put us a point ahead of them, and pretty much having a similar schedule as they do. It would be very nice, I think, but at the same time, the most important thing for us is to make sure we're playing our style and playing our game come playoffs, no matter who we play. We're going to have to go through Creston anyways, and whether we finish first or second, if we want to win our division, we're going to have to go through Creston, and if we have to go through Fernie first or Columbia Valley, I don't really, to us right now, it doesn't really matter as long as we're playing our game.
Well, I tell you, the Dynamiter fans really like it when the Dynamiters play off against Fernie. I think that's the number one rivalry since in your day it was the Dynamiters and the Cranbrook Colts. Yeah. But the Fernie Ghost Raiders have kind of taken over that position as the bad guys.
Yeah, for sure. I've come to realize I always, I just assuming with this year's standings how they are, I thought it would be Kimberley, Creston, and there's a rivalry there for sure. But it definitely doesn't compare in the rivalry to Fernie, and it's kind of the flip situation when I was playing. Fernie was sort of the secondary rivalry for us here in Kimberley, and of course Cranbrook being 20 minutes away was a war every night. But it's playing Fernie right now. These kids really get up for them, and the same thing happens on the Fernie end.
So looking at your future, somewhere down the road, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, what do you hope to be doing, say, 5 to 10 years down the road?
That's a good question. I'm not too sure. I don't, I have a young daughter now, and a wife that have to come first, obviously. So, we'll see how that goes and where that takes us. But, we're very happy here in Kimberley. I'm happy coaching and being the general manager of a great organization like the Dynamiters are. And, for us, I have another year left on my contract next year. And if everything goes well, I'll see that year out and kind of just see what happens then. 5-10 years from now, that's a long time away. I'm not too sure what's going to be happening then, but
I guess the question is, do you want to stay involved with hockey, or do you have other interests that you might be interested in?
No, I'd like to stay involved with hockey. It's pretty rewarding to see players now that I coached 5, 6, 7 years ago that are all they're grown up now and have real jobs, and some of the stuff when you talk to them that they remember aren't really the wins or losses. It's stuff on the bus and other guys and just the camaraderie that occurred during those seasons. So it's a great rewarding experience as a coach. You get to help young men move on, whether it's in hockey or in life. So I definitely would like to stay involved in some capacity.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you very much, for taking some time with us, Derek. Derek Stuart, the general manager and head coach of the Kimberley Dynamiters. You put on a great product for the fans here in Kimberley to watch, and we wish you nothing but the best in the coming days and weeks.
Oh, thanks very much, Jim. Thanks for having me. Okay.
Derek Stuart, general manager and head coach of the Kimberley Dynamiters. Stay tuned for more exciting KIJHL hockey action featuring the Kimberley Dynamiters.